I ended up moving to Jackson Heights.
Okay.
And in Jackson Heights, that's next to Corona. So that's where I started developing. Well, in Flushing, I developed the love for music. But in Jackson Heights is when I actually put it to work. So, you know, like one of my first good friends in that area was Kool G-Rap. So, you know what I'm saying? G-Rap was my first link into the music game. You know, I was going to high school and I love music. I was trying to figure out a way to get into this hip hop game. And you know, I was succeeding by going to the clubs and, you know, faking it till I made it, like, you know, like pretending like I knew people to get into the club, like, you know what I'm saying, like rappers or whoever used to get to the front to get put, and I'm like, yo, what up? What's going, yo? And they be like, yo, what up, man? I was so convincing, you know, that it was like, do we know this dude? They used to look at the whole entourage like, and when security be like, all right, who's with you? They'd be like, they look back and they'd be like, yeah, he's with us too and shit. So I was in, you know what I'm saying? And you know, when I hooked up with G-Rap, I did the same shit to him, bro. Like the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I pretended like I knew him and he thought he knew me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I actually knew somebody that was with him. My boy Drew, Dr. Butcher.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was already starting the DJ shit. So I seen Dr. Butcher one day walking with him to the movie theater. And I was like, yo, Drew. And he was like, yo, what up? And then he introduced me to G, but I pretended like I knew, yo, remember? And he's like, oh, word. So we went to go see Phantasm 2. They were walking to the movies. So I went ahead and just added myself to the equation. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, cool. Went to the movies with them and shit. You know, we all left there. You know, exchanged numbers. At that time, it was house numbers. It wasn't, you know, cell phone numbers. And we connected. You know, we connected, and he was the one that actually then took. Am I rambling?
No, you're good. No, ramble.
I'm telling you my life story. Right
that's what we want.
He basically, I started hanging out with him, and he was tied in with Eric B and with Rakim.
Okay.
Because Eric B and Rakim were the ones that took G-Rap actually to Marley Marl. So you know what I'm saying? So it was like, because Rakim was actually like after Shan and Shantae, he was actually like the first person that was working with Marley. You know what I'm saying? Like Eric B for President, that was produced by Marley. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was kind of basically like Rakim was Marley's artist. And yeah, so you know, I hooked up with G, he hooked me up with Eric B and Rakim. I'm still in high school, and you know, like I went on the road with Eric B and Rakim and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like as a roadie, like connecting Eric B's turntables and shit like that on the road. Like my first shit was a Canada tour. I went with them to Canada. You know what I'm saying? It was like I'm 16 years old. You know, so I'm like, I'm already cutting out of school like crazy anyway. So it's like, you know, yeah. So I took off with them, and it was funny because when we used to come back from tour, I used to go back to my high school, but the way I used to do it was we used to come back, everybody was dead tired, but you know, I'm 16 years old. I got energy like a motherfucker, you know, plus I'm excited. I'm on the road with Eric B and Rakim. So I used to be like, yo, Rob, you know, you gonna go back to Long Island later on today. Let me go take your car to get washed and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I used to take his car, and you know, like I get into the, you know, what was the car he had at that time? He had a couple. He had the Benz, the white with the blue rag top, but I took the Cherokee, the burgundy Cherokee that had the wheel cover on the back. It's on the I think it's on the whatchamacallit, on Follow the Leader album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's, you know, it's got like, you know, the universal flag on it or something. So I took that car and I drove it up to the high school, man. And for some reason I turned on the radio. I was trying to figure shit out. He had the system in it. I looked in a glove box in the middle. All his jewelry was in there, bro. So I put on the watch with the flip cover on it. It was like the Mercedes Benz, and the Mercedes Benz fucking thing. I had the ropes on, everything, bro. And I drive up to the high school, and everybody's like, "Yo, you robbed Rakim?" And I remember I got EPMD playing, man. I got EPMD playing on that shit. It was 2 cassettes that I had in there. Throwing that to say, I would throw the EPMD, and then I would throw the Nice and Smooth. You know what I'm saying? The Nice and Smooth album, the first album. And I'm just driving around in high school. So that was my into the music game. You know what I'm saying?